Imagine waking up inside a pitch-black metal box. You don't know where you are. You don't know which direction is up or down. All you hear is water, splashing, rising, filling the air with the cold smell of death. Your hands shake as you search for a wall, any wall, something solid. But the moment your fingers touch metal, you realize the truth. You're not in a room. You're inside a container, floating, alone, in the middle of an endless ocean. No food, no fresh water, no light, no way out. And worst of all, a baby growing inside you, ready to be born in a place where even adults cannot survive. This isn't just a survival story. It's a story about a mother fighting nature, fate, and time with nothing but her own heartbeat keeping her alive. This is Nowhere 2023. And today, we're going deep into a world where every second is a battle. Welcome back to Real Movie Breakdown, your cinematic home where we turn thrilling movies into immersive story experiences. If you love intense survival films, emotional storytelling, and detailed breakdowns, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's begin one of Netflix's most haunting survival journeys ever made. Before the ocean, before the container, before the silence, the film opens in a world that has already collapsed. Not with zombies, not with aliens, not with viruses, but with humans. A violent political regime controls everything. Soldiers roam the streets, food is rationed, curfews are strict, and pregnant women are treated as burdens, almost like illegal secrets. Families disappear overnight and nobody asks where they went. Everyone is too afraid. In this broken world lives Mia, a woman whose life changed in a single heartbeat, the moment she learned she was pregnant. Her husband Nico tries to keep hope alive. He believes there are still safe places across the sea, countries untouched by the regime, places where their child can be born without fear. And so begins their desperate, illegal, and almost suicidal plan. Escape by sea, hidden in shipping containers. The escape isn't simple. Nothing in this world is simple anymore. Mia and Nico meet a smuggler who works under the radar, sneaking families into cargo containers headed across the ocean. But time is running out. Soldiers are already sweeping every neighborhood, arresting anyone even suspected of escaping. The smuggler warns them, "If you're caught, I can't save you. If the container is discovered, you're done. If the ship sinks, you're on your own." But what choice do they have? The moment night falls, they begin the journey, running through darkness. Flashlights sweep through alleys. Dogs bark in the distance. Military trucks roar across the streets. Mia holds her stomach, breathing through the pressure. Nico holds her hand. Their entire world is reduced to the rhythm of their feet, fast, silent, desperate. They duck behind trash bins, hide behind broken walls, freeze whenever soldiers shout orders nearby. One wrong step could end 3 lives. After a long and suffocating escape, they reach the docks, a jungle of cargo containers stacked like a metal maze. The smuggler rushes them inside. People are crying, whispering prayers, hugging loved ones for what might be their last time. Mia and Nico climb into their assigned container. Inside, it's pure darkness. No windows, no vents, just the cold touch of metal and fear. Nico kisses her forehead. "You're safe. We're safe. Just stay quiet." But destiny has a cruel sense of timing. The raid begins. Soldiers storm the docks. Sirens scream. People panic. The smuggler shouts for everyone to hide. In the chaos of pushing bodies, Mia is shoved away, into a different container, and the door slams shut. Locked, trapped, separated from Nico. She calls his name once, twice, no answer. The last thing she hears is gunshots echoing across the dockyard. Inside the container, Mia experiences the kind of darkness humans aren't built for. It's hot, claustrophobic, air feels thin, the metal walls sweat condensation. She touches the floor and finds other people crushed together, whispering, terrified. In this total darkness, every sound becomes a nightmare. Children crying, people coughing, someone quietly praying, a woman trying not to scream, the ocean slamming against the ship's hull. Hours pass like days. Finally, the ship moves. A deep rumble vibrates through the container, signaling the start of their deadly journey. Mia holds 2 things close, her stomach, and the last memory of Nico's voice. On the second day at sea, everything goes wrong. The weather turns violent. Waves crash like fists. Thunder growls across the sky. The ship tilts so hard that people inside scream and fall against each other. Mia slams into the metal wall, biting her lip to keep from crying out. Then, the worst sound imaginable. Kralak! The ship is breaking apart. Containers start sliding across the deck as if the ocean itself is tossing them around. Screams mix with thunder. The world outside becomes a battlefield between water and steel. Then Mia's container tilts sideways, violently, and she falls into freezing water that has already entered from below. Before she can react, boom! The container is thrown off the ship. Her world becomes weightless. Air turns to screams. Darkness turns to black. And then a splash. Everything disappears beneath the waves. Mia wakes up to the sound of sloshing water. She isn't dead. Not yet. But she might wish she was. Her container is floating, but half filled with icy seawater. She tries to stand, but slips and hits her knees. With shaking hands, she touches the walls, still solid, still locked. The questions hit her all at once. Where am I? How far from land? Is Nick alive? How long can I survive like this? What about the baby? She screams for help until her throat burns. She bangs on the walls. She cries, but the ocean isn't listening. She is alone in a steel tomb adrift on an endless sea. After hours of panic, Mia forces herself to think. She needs air, light, tools, anything. She climbs onto a floating wooden pallet, steadying herself. Every movement sends waves across the container. She searches through anything she can grab. She finds small ropes, plastic sheets, a few broken crates, a toolbox with almost nothing inside, a metal rod, and a tiny pocket knife hidden under wooden boards. It's not enough, but it's not nothing. She ties the plastic sheet around her shoulders to avoid freezing. She uses the metal rod to pry open a rusty panel, creating a tiny hole where sunlight enters like a blessing. She breathes fresh air for the first time, but when she looks around, all she sees is ocean. Endless, merciless, horizon to horizon ocean. Night comes fast, darker than any night on land. The container becomes a black hole. The only sound is water rising slowly. Mia ties herself to a metal hook, afraid she might fall asleep and drown. Every wave shakes the container violently, reminding her that she is one wrong moment away from dying. She talks to her unborn baby. I'm here. Stay with me. We'll survive. Her voice cracks. She's exhausted, starving, freezing. But mothers don't get to quit. The next morning, the sun burns her eyes through the small hole. She turns on a broken phone she found, screen flickering, battery dying. But for a moment, a miracle happens. One bar of signal. Just one. Enough to receive a voice message from Nico. Mia, I'm alive. Please hold on. The storm separated everyone. I'm searching for you. Don't give up. Not now. Not when we're so close. Save our baby. I love you. The signal dies immediately after, but those words fill her veins like fuel. She is not completely alone. Not yet. Days pass. No food. No clean water. No rest. The container smells rotten. Her skin is pale. Her lips are cracked. Then, suddenly pain. Sharp, deep, unbearable. Her water breaks. The baby is coming. Inside a filthy, freezing container. Floating in the middle of nowhere. Mia is about to give birth completely alone. She lays plastic sheets on the pallet, kneels, screams into a cloth to muffle her voice, and clutches the metal bar to survive the contractions. Hours of agony, hours of fear, hours of lonely, painful motherhood. Finally, a baby cries, a sound more powerful than the ocean itself. A tiny girl, fragile, cold, beautiful, is born. Mia wraps her in plastic, presses her to her chest, and whispers, "You're my miracle. Your name is Noah." Now Mia has a new reason to survive. A stronger reason. A louder reason. The ocean doesn't stop for anyone, not even a newborn. The metal floor starts cracking. Water pours in from new holes. The walls groan like they're about to burst. Mia realizes she has hours left. Maybe less. She must escape the container before it sinks completely. Using ropes, crates, and broken pallets, she builds a small raft, unstable, but enough to hold a baby. Every movement hurts, but she keeps working. She has to. No one needs her. Nico might still be out there. Hope still exists. As she ties the final knot, a massive wave slams the container. and the screen fades into darkness. The container was cracking, water was rushing in, and Mia, now a mother, had just finished tying the last rope of her makeshift raft. But the ocean doesn't pause for courage, and nature doesn't slow down for motherhood. The moment Mia turns to check on baby Noah, a massive wave slams into the container so hard that the entire structure trembles like a dying animal. The metal floor bends. A loud groan echoes through the container. Water erupts from the new cracks. The container isn't sinking anymore. It's collapsing. Mia grabs Noah, wraps her tightly in the driest plastic she has left, and presses her against her chest. Her own breath becomes faster, heavier, desperate. She knows what's coming. The water rises from her ankles to her knees, then to her waist. The weight of the ocean turns the container into a huge metal cup filling with death. Every second counts now. Mia pulls the raft close to her. She secures Noah in the center, tying her gently with cloth like a soft cocoon, not too tight, not too loose. But the water keeps rising. The container tilts violently as another wave crashes against it. Everything inside shifts, crates float around, smashing into the walls, hitting Mia's legs, bruising her skin. A third crack opens across the floor like a mouth. The ocean crawls in faster. Mia screams, but no one hears. Finally, the container dips so low that the upper walls begin filling with water. They have maybe 1 minute left. Mia drags the raft to the small hole she carved earlier with her metal rod, a hole just big enough to squeeze through. Water pressure fights her. Waves smash the outside. The hole bends inward. For a moment, it feels impossible. But mothers don't stop at impossible. She pushes the raft first hard, letting the waves pull it outside. Noah cries softly in the plastic wrap. Then Mia climbs, scraping her skin, cutting her shoulder on jagged metal, forcing her body through the tiny opening. The moment she makes it halfway out, the container dips again, sinking like an anchor. She kicks hard, pushes through, falls into the freezing ocean with a splash. Her lungs squeeze from the shock of cold. Her arms fight to keep her head above water. Her legs feel like they're being pulled down by invisible hands. But she swims toward the raft, toward her child, with a strength she didn't know she had. She reaches Noah, grabs the raft edge, and floats beside her newborn daughter as the container disappears beneath the waves and sinks into the darkness forever. For the first time in days, Mia is under the open sky. But freedom comes with a new enemy. The sun. It burns her skin. It reflects off the water, blinding her eyes. It heats her already dehydrated body until every inch of her feels like fire. She pulls herself halfway onto the raft. It barely holds her weight. Wood creaks. Ropes tighten. She keeps most of her body in the water to avoid sinking the raft. But the ocean pulls heat from her bones like ice knives. She is burning and freezing at the same time. No land in sight. No ships. No clouds. Just her, the baby, the raft, and the endless blue. Hours stretch into a day. The sun sets. The cold returns. The waves grow. Noah cries. Mia's lips turn blue. She knows the baby can't survive long without clean water or warmth. So she forces herself to search again, the raft, the bags, anything that floated out of the container. And then she sees it. A large white plastic cube drifting in the distance, maybe from the storm. Maybe from another ship. She paddles with her arms toward it, muscles screaming, body shaking from cold. It takes an hour, maybe more, but she reaches it. Inside, she finds a small tarp, empty food packaging, a broken jug, a fishing net, and 2 sealed water bottles, half full. 2 bottles, not enough for long, but enough to keep Noah alive for now. She kisses her baby's forehead and whispers, "We're going to make it." The ocean doesn't give gifts. It gives chances, and only once. Mia ties the large plastic cube to her own raft using rope pieces. She strengthens the wooden base with netting. She layers the tarp to give Noah shade. Every improvement increases their survival chances by a few hours. Maybe a day. Maybe 2. Her hands are blistered. Her skin is cracked. Her eyes barely stay open. But she keeps building. Just when she begins to believe their raft might hold, nature gathers its weapons again. A storm forms in the distance, dark, swirling clouds climbing the sky like giants. Wind howls across the water. Waves rise. Rain pours like needles. Mia holds Noah close, shielding her with her own body as the storm unleashes its fury. The raft is tossed like a toy. Waves crash over them, soaking them completely. The ropes stretch to their limits. Mia screams into the wind, trying to hold on. Her fingers slip. She loses her grip. The raft flips halfway, almost throwing Noah into the sea. She catches the baby at the very last second, hugging her as lightning splits the sky above. Hours pass like nightmares. Lightning, thunder, screams, salt water, fear. And then, just as suddenly, the storm ends. Clouds drift apart. The sea calms. But Mia is left trembling, barely conscious, holding Noah with the last strength in her bones. At dawn, Mia opens her eyes and sees something she hasn't seen in days. A dark line across the horizon. Flat, stable, solid. Land. Her heart races. Her throat tightens. Her eyes fill with tears. She paddles with everything she has, using her arms like oars. Every stroke sends fire through her muscles. Every movement feels like breaking bones. But she doesn't stop. It takes hours to get closer, until she finally sees it clearly. A destroyed fishing dock. An abandoned coastline. No people. No houses. Just broken wood, scattered nets, and silence. Not paradise. Not rescue. But land is land. And land means survival. The raft hits shallow waters, but Mia's legs are too weak to stand. She holds Noah tightly above her chest and lets the waves push her forward. Her feet touch sand. Her knees buckle. Her body collapses. She crawls, dragging herself across sharp shells and wet stones using elbows and knees, never letting Noah touch the ground. She reaches dry sand, rolls over, holds her baby over her heart, and for the first time since the escape began, she closes her eyes without fear of drowning. When Mia wakes up, night has fallen. Her body aches so badly she can barely move. Her throat is so dry it feels like swallowing knives. She forces herself to stand, staggering like a ghost across the ruined coastline. She searches for anything: wood, fire, shelter, water, food. Finally, she finds what used to be a fisherman's hut, half destroyed, but still standing. Inside, she discovers a broken radio, a rusted knife, fishing hooks, a few empty cans, and old tarps. She uses the tarps to create a warm nest for Noah. Then, she builds a fire using driftwood. For the first time in days, warmth touches her skin. For the first time, Noah sleeps without freezing. Mia sits near the fire, staring at her baby, whispering, "We survived. We actually survived." But their journey isn't over. The broken radio crackles. Static fills the room like a monster breathing. Mia grabs it desperately, adjusting dials, hitting the side, shaking it, anything to make it work. After minutes of static, a voice, faint, weak, but real. "If anyone. Here. Rescue boat. Coordinates." She screams into the radio. "Hello. I'm here. I'm alive. I have a baby." The radio cuts out. She tries again. And again. Nothing. But she heard enough. A rescue boat is somewhere nearby. Maybe hours away. Maybe already past. She needs to reach higher ground. Signal. Visibility. She wraps Noah to her chest with a cloth sling, grabs the rusted knife, and begins walking barefoot, across sharp rocks, broken wood, and cold sand. Every step is pain. Every breath is a struggle. But giving up is not an option. She reaches a rocky hill overlooking the shoreline. If she gets to the top, maybe the rescue team will see her. She climbs, bleeding feet, shaking arms, vision fading. Halfway up, she slips, almost falling backwards. But she digs her fingers into the rock and climbs again, groaning, crying, fighting. At the top, she puts Noah down safely, gathers driftwood and seaweed, and lights a giant fire, a signal fire so big it can be seen for miles. Smoke rises into the sky. Wine carries the flames. Mia holds Noah and waits. Minutes pass, then an hour, then two. Nothing. She screams into the empty world, begging the universe for help. And then, she hears it. A sound. A motor. A boat. A human voice shouting through a megaphone. "Hello. We see your fire." Mia collapses to her knees, covering her mouth with shaking hands as tears flood down her face. The rescue boat arrives at the beach. Two people jump out, running toward her. They wrap a blanket around her shoulders. One of them lifts Noah gently. "You're safe now," they say. Mia's body finally gives up. Her knees fold. Her arms go limp. But she doesn't fall, they catch her. The last thing she hears before losing consciousness is, "Don't worry. We've got you. You're safe. Your daughter is safe." Mia wakes up in a medical tent. Her arms are attached to IVs. Her skin is wrapped in bandages. She hears waves softly in the background, but this time, they are calm, gentle. She turns her head and sees Noah sleeping peacefully next to her in a warm crib. A nurse enters, smiling softly. "You're incredibly strong," she says. "You survived something no one else could." Mia looks at her daughter, smiles, weakly, but truly. "Her name is Noah," she whispers. "She saved me." The screen fades, and that, my friends, is Nowhere 2023, a story not about monsters, not about war, not about disaster, but about a mother's unbreakable love, a woman who fought storms, hunger, darkness, and death itself, because giving up wasn't an option. If you felt even a moment of tension, emotion, or inspiration during this breakdown, make sure to tap that like button. And if you love detailed, cinematic movie explanations like this one, then subscribe to Real Movie Breakdown for more amazing stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.